the sun, you get sunspots in your eye. You can't see anything.
Hey, that's good. For the speech?
I don't know.
You never know how many people there are.
But you can't see your speech.
Oh, no. They were afraid of red. Michael said he doesn't see so many decorated caps. They were afraid of you not letting them in. Right? Honestly, they are. I mean, it's good because they never give us any problems, but I'm trying to even think like when they were freshmen. I'm trying to think. I don't see anybody else like they were so just as nice as like a me and Ollie Rose.
I do have one favorite hat. When I get up to speak, you have to pretend
Oh,
you're
they're
listening.
Really?
Yeah, okay. Just
Like before you say anything?
yeah, like I'll get up and then I'll like lean over and do this, like just pretend you just
Okay, okay. I like it. I'm up for any theatrics like that. Yeah. Do you want me to get close or like just?
no, just
Okay.
I didn't see all this. Like Brianna's got her grabbing chair. I'll bet they were going to let them just kind of take all the staff. I mean, let them stand. Should I go down there and get Matt Daniels to tell us? Right there. Take me.
Yeah, on the left side, my dad's in the pink, and then the two blues on either side of him.
oh,
Yeah.
That's you, Dubs.
they want a front row seat.
Yeah, they're waving right now.
That's you, Dubs.
Oh, yeah. Did they not know Interlake was coming to the house? I mean, if they had enough seats for Newport, how do they not have enough seats for us? Newport's bigger, right?
They did a little wave, that's so cute. They closed the second one.
Just here, so I'll get fine.
Who's first, guys? Who's first?
Annie's first.
Annie?
Yes.
Woo!
You might want to go ahead and sing.
All right, yeah, yep. One of you tells them to be seated.
You may now be seated. Okay. Good evening and welcome everyone to the graduation of Interlake's class of 2022. I'm Annie Suoko, one of the senior class officers this year. Standing behind me are my fellow class officers, Eric, Michael, Sam, and Tomer. We're delighted to be your masters of ceremony for this evening. It is such an honor for us to be with all of you here tonight, celebrating the accomplishments of almost 450 graduates.
Joining us on stage tonight is our faculty speaker, Daniel Becker, along with student speaker Annika Singh, class advisor Alex Glover, Principal Brett Cochran, and assistant principals Jocelyn Alexander, Miguel Gutierrez, and Mike Skeezer. We would also like to extend a special welcome to Superintendent Art Jarvis and Bellevue School District Board member Christine Chu.
Thank you everyone, family, friends, and faculty staff for convening tonight to commemorate this remarkable milestone with us. Tonight, all class of 2022 graduates will receive a diploma certifying their completion of high school. On the surface, your high school experience might be summed up with grades, homework assignments, and stuff of the sort. But we all know that deep inside, that high school means so much more.
We realized that high school has been not just about the end goal, but also the process. Over the last 4 years, we gained insight on the values of resilience, achievement, community, and most importantly, compassion. Throughout the pandemic, we managed to support ourselves by supporting each other. It was difficult, but we made it.
And now let's move on to the exciting part, graduation. This is our opportunity to celebrate our achievements and the long way we've come. Like how fortunate we are to have so many talented performers and musicians here at Interlake. Now, please stand as we kick off this momentous occasion with our award-winning jazz choir directed by Michael King as they perform the Star-Spangled Banner. Sit down? Oh, wait, yeah.
Thank you to our wonderful jazz choir for their beautiful performance of the national anthem. Next, they will be performing Slipping Through My Fingers and Thank You for the Music, as arranged by Priyal Sahai.
She leaves home for the early morning, waving goodbye with an absent-minded smile. I watch her go with a surge of that well-known sadness, and I have to sit down for a while. The feeling that I'm losing her forever, and without really entering her world. I'm glad whenever I can share her laughter, that funny little girl. I try to capture every minute, the feeling in it. Do I really see what's in her mind? Each time I think I'm close to knowing, she keeps on growing. Sometimes I wish that I could freeze the picture and save it for the funny tricks of time. Slipping through my
Wow. Thank you for that music. Our next speaker is a social studies teacher here at Interlake, someone who's committed to supporting all students and making Interlake a better place. Not to mention, this will be his last year with us at Interlake High School. Please join me in welcoming our faculty speaker, Daniel Becker.
Thank you so much. Principal Cochran just whispered to me that the Gettysburg Address was only 272 words long. I'm not sure what he meant by that. Thank you, congratulations to the graduating class of 2022. Looking out at you all here reminds me of something I read recently. A graduation ceremony is an event where the commencement speaker tells hundreds of students dressed in identical caps and gowns that individuality is the key to success. And let me just say that looking at you, you are one great-looking, undifferentiated mass. Class of 2022, as my favorite band, the Grateful Dead, once said, "What a long, strange trip it's been." First, let's get COVID out of the way. You've had a crazy high school tenure, 2 full years sandwiched around 2 remote years. This experience will affect you profoundly throughout your life, but let me forewarn you that your children will neither understand nor care. When I tell students I was alive to watch the landing on the moon, they ask, was that Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk? But you know, the truly disappointing thing about COVID, it's that in this global age of communication and social media, there were so many really bad lockdown jokes. For example, guess what the temperature is today? Room temperature. Awful. Or day 7 at home and the dog is looking at me like, see, this is why I chew the furniture. Really, really bad. Or this one, I washed my hands so much due to COVID that I uncovered my exam notes from 1995. I guess your laughter really was just about the grade after all. As many of you know, this is my final year of teaching after 17 years at Interlake High School. That's right, I've been here from the time you were crying over your lost binky to today when you set out to make your own way in the world. Sometimes alumni come back and they say, Mr. Becker, are you still teaching that same stuff you taught us all those years ago? And yes, those moments sting. But then I soothe myself by remembering the words of the poet Maya Angelou. People will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Students never come back to tell me that I succeeded in making the Mughal Empire relevant to their lives. God knows I tried. But one student did say, I remember that you were the only teacher who asked me about my well-being when I had lost my grandfather and was struggling because of it. No student has ever said, you changed my life when you taught me the main causes of World War I. But someone did write, over the years, you checked in with me when we ran into each other in the hallway, and I appreciated that more than you will ever know. I have yet to find a student reminisce about the profound impact of learning the differences between nomadic and sedentary societies. But I received this in an email recently. I cannot pretend that I remember a ton of the content of your class, but I remember that I loved it, and I remember feeling respected as a learner and as a human being. So much so that I've recently realized I would love to teach AP World History someday soon. I sure hope that kids' parents never find me. Now, I don't want to give you advice you neither asked for nor want. I will save that for my own son. But I would like to share one takeaway from my experience, and that is that when all is said and done, it is kindness that matters. It is kindness that makes the world a more bearable place. It is kindness that endures. So wherever you go from here, please work to spread kindness along your way. Some of this becoming kinder happens naturally with age. Oh, I'm sorry. The writer George Saunders has some good news on this front. He says the following, quote, "Some of this becoming kinder happens naturally with age. It might be a simple matter of attrition. As we get older, we come to see how useless it is to be selfish, how illogical, really. We come to love other people and are thereby counter-instructed in our own centrality. We get our butts kicked by real life, and people come to our defense and help us, and we learn that we're not separate and don't want to be. Most people, as they age, become less selfish and more loving. But why wait? You can start right now. Luckily, you have role models right here. Think of the generosity it took for your parents to raise you and put up with you for these past 18 years, especially the past few. I have a teenager. I know of what I speak. Or the benevolence of your teachers who have devoted their careers to helping you reach this point. They have engaged in one of the kindest acts of all, to plant trees under whose shade they do not intend to sit. There will be hard times. Things will not always go your way. We have some big problems facing us as a society and as a planet. But whatever challenges you face, kindness will make them better. It is really what it's all about. Let me conclude with some thoughts from another great musician, Bruce Springsteen, the boss. I guess no one here is from New Jersey. Okay. All right, anyway, he says, you might need something to hold on to when all the answers, they don't amount to much. Somebody that you could just talk to and a little of that human touch. Class of 2022, congratulations on your graduation from high school. You did it. May all good things come your way, and may your journey always be accompanied by that human touch. Thank you.
I just want to go off script a little bit and say thank you, Mr. Becker, for all the kindness you've shown us. We will miss you very, very much. Thank you, Mr. Becker. Your words were truly inspiring and will undoubtedly leave a lasting impact inside all of our hearts. Next up, we have The Single Petal of a Rose, arranged and performed by our very own Nicholas Chesmore.
What a delicate and beautiful piece. Thank you, Nicholas. Next, I would like to introduce our class speaker, a talented leader who has been actively engaged with the Interlake community throughout her 4 years of high school, truly embodying the Interlake spirit. Please give a big round of applause for our student speaker, Annika Singh.
Good evening, Interlake. On behalf of tonight's graduates, I'd like to thank our faculty for all their hard work that goes unseen, our teachers for their guidance and their wisdom these past 4 years, and our parents for their unconditional love as we graduated high school. You've all played key roles in our graduation, but most importantly, class of 2022, give yourselves a big round of applause. The last 4 years have been nothing short of difficult. Whether it be an extra 2 weeks off school turning into a 2-year pandemic, to having to pick up jobs to financially support our families, to brutal college applications, to losing friends and family members to COVID, I'm sure that we've all gone through our fair share of struggles during high school. But more than anything, I believe that these past 4 years at Interlake have taught us the importance of our relationships and connections. At the beginning of the pandemic, I was super excited for our extra time off. But as our break kept getting longer, I felt lonely. I wasn't allowed to meet with people, but calling and texting my friends seemed impossible, and I'd rather lay in bed. When I look back to my experience of the pandemic, I don't remember the information I learned, sorry to my junior year teachers, nor the tests or assignments I tried to complete online, but I do distinctly remember missing my friends, and I'm sure that many of you guys felt the same. As we begin the next chapter of our lives, wherever that may be, I want to emphasize the importance of relationships. We should not only be inclusive and caring to our closest group of friends, but also compassionate to everyone we cross paths with. These relationships will enrich our lives and make them tremendously more meaningful. Creating positive relationships will give us a powerful support structure, which empowers us to take risks. It is precisely when we venture outside of our comfort zone that we are experiencing the most growth. I personally struggle with this. During my freshman year, I ran for class office and lost. When I ran my sophomore year, I was very scared that I would lose for a second time. But my friends reassured me that no matter the outcome, the experience would be worth it. Class of 2022, I hope that in the future, we continue to explore the unknown. It is up to us to push ourselves and encourage those around us to continue to grow, learn, and be challenged. When doing so, there will often be times and situations where we don't feel confident. And while the support structures we have built will be important, believing in ourselves will go a long way. Starting with the belief that you can do it is half the battle. So no matter what, seniors, let's continue to be compassionate and take the time to foster real connections and relationships with those around us. take risks and get out of our comfort zone, and above all, believe in ourselves. Interlake, we only graduate once. So let's take a moment to capture our graduation. Everybody say cheese. Okay, I think a couple of you guys blinked, but we should be okay. As famous philanthropist, poet, and inspirational speaker Pitbull once said, "Every day above ground is a great day. Remember that." Congratulations, class of 2022. From the bottom of my heart, I wish each and every one of you the best of luck in your future endeavor. Saints out.
Thank you, Annika, for your wonderful speech and all your contributions here at Interlake. For our next musical performance, it is my pleasure to introduce a talented group of senior musicians performing Frozen Medley, arranged by Robert Longfield. Please welcome Lydia Bay, Jeffrey Chen, Eric Cho, Colin Dang, Ziki Feng, Catherine Lee, Amelia Matsumoto, Karu Tapang, Sabine Wood, Lucas Wu, Matthew Yen, Melody Zhang, and Clarence Zhang.
The eloquence of that performance definitely speaks for itself. Next, we'll have our esteemed principal introduce the class of 2022. Let's extend a warm welcome for our beloved principal, Brett Cochran.
Not gonna lie, it's been about a year since I've touched this. And when I dusted it off, I found last year's speech. I gave it a solid 30 seconds to think about. Would they know? But I wrote a new one for you. Students, hey, it took a lot for you to be here and to get to this point. Parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, and everyone that came before you. Learning pre-literacy skills before kindergarten, creating good study habits at home, and putting up with you when we were virtual last year. Graduates, this is your turn. I want you to look around, find your crew, and give it up to those who helped you get here today. All right, calm down. I started something I can't stop, okay. Parents, you did a lot. Some of you, though, were too involved. I like that reaction, you just owned it. Thank you. Anything for my baby boy. I say that facetiously because it happened to me. A week ago, my daughter came up to me and said, "Dad, for 5th grade promotion, I'm gonna write a speech." I said, "Great, honey." She said, "I hope I get selected." I paused, I said, "Tell me more." She said, "Well, 8 of us are writing speeches and only 4 of us are getting chosen." I said, "Really?" You guys, I almost wrote the whole speech. You better believe she got selected. I paced the kitchen talking while she wrote. She said, "Dad, 5th graders don't say bittersweet." I said, "Oh, you're saying bittersweet." You guys, your list of accomplishments are long and insane. I could spend my entire speech reading off the incredible stat lines of this class. I could talk about girls golf winning the state championship. Or the fact that we had 41 National Merit semifinalists, most in the state of Washington. In fact, Interlake had more than the entire state of North and South Dakota. No offense if you're from the Dakotas. So we're not going to talk about that stuff. I could talk about the time that one of you brought very large and unalive fish into the building. One of the counselors brought it to me like I knew what to do with it. And I was like, "Alicia, I can't resurrect it, it's gone." I felt like we were in Pike Street Market and I didn't know if we were going to start tossing it back and forth. Almost instantly, nothing else mattered that day except for finding out where the fish came from. After searching camera footage, I found the student. I was quite escalated and angry, and I said, "I need to know why, but first, where did it come from?" And you pointed up into the sky, so I looked up too. And you said, "An eagle dropped it." I didn't know if I was supposed to go full Hulk rage mode or shake your hand. Through a very scientific process, we later determined an eagle did drop the fish. That was the day I resented our proximity to Lake Sammamish. Probably my most humbling experience this year was meeting with one of you seniors and your father in my office. This was a very serious meeting, I believe about grades, and the meeting, well, wasn't going smooth. About halfway through, I felt something stuck in the forearm area of my sport coat. I casually looked inside my jacket, and I saw Iron Man and Thor, and I immediately knew this is my son's underwear. We've all done it, done laundry, and clothes get intertwined. Well, now I can feel it working down my arm, trying to free itself. Visibly sweating, I thought, well, I can just let fate decide and let it fall on the floor, and we can laugh about it and potentially diffuse the situation. I could also hold my arm up in the air for the remainder of the meeting, maybe hold a pensive position. I thought that's too much of a power move. Instead, I turned around, let out a fake cough, which gave me time to pull it out, and now I have it in my fist. Needing this meeting to be over, I think I granted whatever you were asking for, and you both stood up to shake my hand, and I said, COVID, you know, how about a fist bump? So I'm going to go off script right here real quick and say you're about to see a lot of parallels to Mr. Becker's speech, which I think is quite poetic, and maybe we're on to something, Mr. Becker. I didn't pre-read his speech. It's also borderline plagiarism, which is a serious academic offense. We'll talk about that later. Seniors, I've thought about this speech for a while now, and I have a very brief message for you. I have a word that I haven't been able to get out of my head. That word is kindness. Our world is hurting right now, and we've lost our way a little bit. I don't remember a time before COVID where people were getting in fistfights on planes, where there was so much political strife, or how short everyone's fuse became overnight. It's like we lost our sense of public decorum. I'm going to brag on myself real quick. When I was 18, your age, only because I had a host of other issues, but I did crack the code on something. I applied for a server job at Olive Garden, mainly because I wanted free breadsticks. With no server experience, I came in for an interview and got the job. Debriefing a couple weeks later, the manager said to me, Brett, you didn't have any experience, and you didn't interview well, so I typically wouldn't have hired you. But you were always nice to my son, so I was willing to take a chance. You see, this was Justin's mom. Justin and I weren't close friends, and he was into some stuff. We had two very different paths in life. He was attending an alternative school, and I was at the local high school, and so on. Yet we both walked to school, and we often connected on the way and talked. We were able to find common ground through conversation, and we each respected each other. Think about that for a second. When I first started, I did not have strong conversational skills. Yet the interpersonal skills, the confidence I learned at that job led me to a nicer restaurant. From there, I refined my skills even more, and eventually I'm a confident young college graduate interviewing for my first teaching job. There's books written about what I just described. The origination point, where you've heard the term butterfly effect, the impetus. What if my small acts of kindness to Justin were part of my story that led me to this point in my life? You guys, kindness is the secret sauce to life. It is the product of empathy, and most importantly, it's free. Sometimes it requires great composure, which is evidence of great character. Gary Vee, a very quirky but successful entrepreneur, was asked, what would you do if you could go back to high school? And he said almost immediately, I would say hi to everyone. You see, he understands the correlation that the more friends you have, the luckier you'll become. As you start this next stage in life, let your pursuit of knowledge only be matched by your desire to acquire as many authentic friendships as possible. 20 years from now, I will not judge you by your salary, but by how others describe you. Kind is power. Earlier, I joked about writing my daughter's speech. Okay, maybe half of it. I told her she had to end with a quote, so I'm going to follow my own advice. Amelia Earhart said,
a single act of kindness throws out roots in all directions, and the roots spring up and make new trees. Graduates, be careful doing your laundry, and go plant roots. Thank you.
I somehow find myself following another speech about kindness. But let's hear it for kindness. Let us also give a huge thanks to Mr. Cochran. We appreciate not only your words, but also everything you've done for us these last few years. We will also never forget you. Now, please prepare for the acceptance of our class as we welcome our superintendent, Art Jarvis.
Good evening, everyone. As the proud superintendent for the Bellevue School District, I join everyone here in celebrating these young people as they cross this threshold. But I also want to take a minute to give a special thank you to two groups. One of those groups is really you, the parents, the guardians, those of you who served as parents and guardians. 2 out of these last 4 years were forced on you and us to create a partnership unlike any that we had ever created in the public schools. We could not do our work without invading your home, your time, your schedules, and disrupting your world entirely. To get these young people to this graduation, it was a fantastic partnership as it worked out, not by choice but by necessity. And you stepped into that bridge and you did everything possible, everything necessary, everything needed, and you made it work. I want to give you an entire school district's appreciation and thank you for that partnership. It was marvelous. Second group, it's been touched on that this really has been, for most of you, a 13-year journey. And that means the kindergarten teachers and the middle school teachers and the counselors and the people all along the way have a part in this, and I certainly want to bring them into the thanks. But I also want to note our entire staff of the school district. Again, this last few years, you watched food service people without being able to access their kitchens or their food supply find ways to make sure that young people ate lunch and families were fed. You saw bus drivers that couldn't drive their buses. There were no buses to drive. You saw custodians, principals, teachers, all of us doing something extraordinarily different by necessity. I want to say a special thank you to the entire Bellevue School District staff for making this work that would lead these young people to have a graduation this evening. Thank you, Bellevue School District staff, from the bottom of my heart. And to the graduates, the class of 2022, you've had many pieces of wisdom. I'm not going to add to those, but I'm going to share with you a quick story. The other day, someone asked me, was I worried about the graduating class of 2022 because they had missed so much over these 4 years? And I said, I can't imagine a group that's better equipped to face an uncertain future than this group, this class of 2022. They have met every challenge when school and the normalcy was ripped away from them. Whether you use the word resiliency or whether you talk about great problem solvers or you just talk about fantastic people to handle our complex future, class of 2022, that is you. And on that note, I get to share with Dr. Christine Chu, member of the Board of Directors, that the class of Interlake High School of 2022 has met all of the requirements established by the Board of Directors and all of the requirements established by the state of Washington and should be graduated. Dr. Chu, they are yours.
The talent, the hard work, the love, and the joy that are in this room right now are just incredible. Thank you so much to this community of staff, of families, of friends, and of you, the students, for all you've done to propel these students through these 4 years. Greetings to the class of 2022. On behalf of the Bellevue School District and the school board, I accept this class and congratulate each of you on your accomplishments that brought you here tonight. Integrity, humanity, scholarship, and COVID. Interlake's guiding principles and values and the unavoidable context in which you have endured, embodied, and experienced them over these past 4 years. Tonight, I invite you to reflect on these principles, especially your humanity, as individuals and as members of a community. For just a moment, turn the clock back in your mind to the summer just before 9th grade. Where were you? How were you feeling about high school? Imagine that just before high school, you had to move, and you weren't even sure you'd get to continue your school journey with your friends. Imagine you had played basketball since early elementary school, and you were so excited to play on a high school team. You practiced and practiced all summer and all fall, getting ready for tryouts. And then, in open gym, just before tryouts, freshman year, you tore your ACL and you couldn't play for the season. Undeterred, you attended tryouts, practices, and games, contributing to your team in ways you had not anticipated, but still a part of it. Injuries in life continued to interfere, and then bam, junior year, COVID hits, and you don't even know if you will have a season. It keeps getting pushed back again and again. Senior year, basketball is back, and you are in. And then a re-injury. But you don't give up. You are back on the court by the end of the season, one of the top scorers per games played. You struggled and were challenged for the entire journey. Your determination, resilience, support for your team, support by your team, hard work, passion, and a place where you belonged carried you through. COVID presented all of us, and more importantly, each of you, with a similar, seemingly endless string of changes, challenges, and even opportunities. Each of you had your own team to support you and for you to support, your teachers, counselors, families, friends, and your Interlake community. Whether COVID somehow opened new doors for you, or it took you to your brink, or both, each of you mastered your journey, and you are here tonight. Testimony to your strength, resilience, and great potential, and testimony to your collective humanity. Likely along the way, each of you both received support and supported someone on their own journey through this winding path. Your life took a few more twists and turns than you anticipated, and let's be honest, it's gonna continue to do that. While you should not allow those twists and turns to deter you from your goals, you should also stay open to the opportunities they may present. If you stay open, sparks of inspiration may come from many directions. Take, for example, an Interlake class. Consider this moment, iridescent, wavering in your hand and shimmering in the light, feeling smooth and cold, awaiting transformation as you cut and craft to bring your vision to life. Fully focused, you weld the pieces together. With the nurturing of teachers, the encouragement of family, and the camaraderie of friends, you discovered and cultivated a creative side you didn't know you had. You put in countless hours outside of class in the metals workshop, grounding yourself to move forward, creating herons, salmon, movement of wind and water, and the winding path of your own journey. Even amidst darkness, isolation, and struggles, you assembled each piece of metal like a new piece of yourself,
to set your upside-down world a little more right, and you brought beauty, hope, and inspiration to others. Other examples include when your Interlake robotics team manufactured face shields and other COVID supports for workers early in the pandemic. They saw a need, they leveraged their experience and compassion, and stepped up. They stayed connected, continued to learn, and nurtured each other's humanity and overall well-being. In your class, student survivors of sexual harassment and misconduct recognized a timely opportunity to leverage their own voices and a growing national movement to courageously step forward. They helped educate the Interlake community and leaders across our district about students' needs for greater supports for all survivors and the need to create a safer environment in which all students can grow and learn, contributing to improvements in our school community. Courage took many forms over these past 4 years, sometimes smaller but no less important to your individual growth or that of the community. Imagine in the midst of COVID, 2 years into your high school career, you have to transfer into Interlake, beginning your journey during remote schooling. Several of your students did that. One in particular I think of also managed to complete an IB diploma and excel on the track team. And that student had the courage, just like your student speaker was talking about, had the courage to run for election and serve your class as a class officer, learning, growing, supported by others, and supporting this community along their journey. Sometimes opportunities were presented by points of struggle or hardship. During this pandemic, many students struggled to engage and continue learning. Maybe your grades dropped. Some of you experienced enhanced anxiety and depression. Yet you too are here today. You did not give up. Even in the midst of your struggles, you found ways to support your family and friends. Although it sometimes took great efforts to re-engage, through love and support of each other, your families and our educators, you earned your way to this moment and your high school diploma. You navigated the college application process during an unprecedentedly competitive period of innumerable challenges. You searched for jobs during a tumultuous period of uncertainty. And you became strong advocates for yourselves, learning to leverage your strengths and developing the humility and work ethic to continue growing and addressing your challenges. Your self-advocacy not only propelled yourselves forward, it paved the path of understanding for mental health and well-being for others who had and will have similar needs in our classrooms and our school communities. All of this, so much more, is your humanity. As you leave Interlake, let that humanity guide you and help you continue to grow and contribute to those around you. Hold to your dreams, but also look out for unexpected opportunities in the positive and the challenging twists of life. Recognize that opportunities do not always look big and flashy. They can be in the simple actions of your life that most profoundly nurture and extend your humanity. Impacting a community means supporting the individuals within it, sometimes one at a time, sometimes many, and sometimes through the care and humility you extend to yourself. Each and every one of you is already shaping our future world, and through the deep journey that you have shared in these unprecedented times, you carry the resilience and empathy to make this world a more tolerant, inclusive, and meaningful one. Keep nurturing that humanity. Tonight and always, we see and honor each and every one of you, creators of your future world, and together, the Interlake High School graduating class of 2022. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Jarvis and Ms. Chu. It's really true that we need to stay strong. Finally, let's give the stage to our counselors. They've been working hard behind the scenes for the last 4 years to make sure that we can all be here today to graduate. Now, it is time for them to proceed with the class roll call and presentation of diplomas. Please welcome Lucia DeCosta, Chelsea Kearns, Scott Markham, Carrie McDermott, Meyer Bergin, and Alicia Williams, our wonderful counselors.
Where do you want the cards? You're in here, right? I'm handing them to you? Where do you want me to put the cards after they take them? Okay. All right. I'm not sure who's going first.
Wait, Priya.
It'll be us, I think.
Guess she's not going first. She forgot her card.
Here we go.
Up here, Priya. Come up first. You're going first. Yep. Yep, come on.
Mary Amadon.
Priyal Sahai.
Samia El Babdadi.
Alexa Harris.
Anusha Bose.
Erica Wang.
Madeline Wilson.
Nicole Gregov.
Jeffrey Chen.
Amelia Matsumoto.
Nicholas James Chesmore.
Karu Tapang.
Kyungmin Eric Cho.
Sabine Wood.
Colin Deng.
Lucas Wu.
Ziki Fang.
Matthew Yen.
Lydia Bay.
Melody Zhang.
Parshi Balu.
Clarence Zhang.
Catherine Lee.
Peter Lisk.
Amar Abera.
Ellie Liu.
Tejas Agarwal.
Alexandra Lopez.
Saketh Akala.
Karina Liu.
Arjun Anand.
Wesley Luke.
Divya Anand.
Mats Lund.
Santiago Andrades.
Erica Luo.
Sachin Anil.
Alex Ma.
Anush Anu Malasiti.
Nakai Mackey.
Senya Antonova.
Christos Magulas.
Keith Armour.
Auntie Manisto.
Carla Ayala Vasquez.
Leah Marlundin.
Javon Babian.
Cindy Marquez.
Sharitha Bale.
Alex Martinez.
Katja Bolin.
Emily Martinez.
Melanie Bolaban.
Anixa Martinez Melendez.
Anushka Bamoira.
Raquel Martinez Sanchez.
Sahitya Banavar.
Eva Marr.
Ishan Bansal.
Garrett McCraley.
Atharva Barid.
Delaney McMillan.
Katrina Barade.
Michaels.
Anamita Bassani.
Axel Monzon Perez.
Nicholas Batchelder.
Ali Reza Musazadeh.
Ashley Bauman.
Williams Morales.
Maha Bayana.
Josue Moran.
Julia Benson.
Adrian Moreno.
Catherine Bentley.
Priyanka Mukara.
Audrey Bernier.
Isaac Mullins.
Caitlin Berry.
Oscar Murillo.
J.R. Besteman.
Maggie Mylan.
Tanmay Banashali.
Peyton Napper.
Harsha Bhatt.
Harshita Nurahari.
Trisha Bin Wade.
Tanushri Narendran.
Amina Boltsekhan.
Casey Nash.
Daniel Baumberger.
Samir Nasim.
Lizanne Thoris.
Jessica Newkirk.
Adeline Braun.
Lillian Yo.
Peyton Breer.
Destiny Wynn.
Kira Brodsky.
Duncan Wynn.
Thomas Bruno.
Kenny Coy Wynn.
Carson Bush.
Kenny T. Wynn.
Nathan Caleb.
Con Wynn.
Madison Camp.
Teddy Wynn.
Alicia Elizabeth Castro Alderete.
Tita Wynn.
Daniel Cervantes Ananya.
Erica Nee.
Irais Ariana Cervantes Cristobal.
Shvita Nidyandan.
Pranav Chanani.
Casey Niebuhr.
Adi Chattery.
Horatio Norman.
Yeah. Vidat Sivan.
Elliot Norsworthy.
Elisa Chavez.
Amatis Notash.
Raquel Chavez Diaz.
Samira Noor.
Ashley Chen.
Athul Obla.
Ray Chen.
Sophia Uy.
Thomas Chen.
Wyatt O'Hara.
Atita Tayaya Shivasat.
Lahav Ori.
Alethea Shivasat. Mira Chu.
Stephen Ottaway.
Sahi Chitarapu.
Belize Ozan.
Fletcher Christian.
Sid Padikara.
Jake Chung.
Ray Padilla.
Aaron Clark.
Govind Paul.
Tori Concepcion.
Vlada Palanchuk.
Izzy Cook.
Rohan Pandey.
Rochelle Cormier.
Maria Panov.
Julio Corona Brambila. Oh.
Esmeralda Pareja Ortega.
Ramon Costa.
Amelia Parton.
Ali Cruz Herrera.
Aisha Patel.
Jose Cuellar.
Kaya Patel.
Nikodem Danliuk.
Durva Patil.
Keelan Davis.
Yemi Parata Gonzalez.
Julie Tuo.
Eduardo Perez.
Ishan Desai.
Emily Peterson.
Guri Deshmukh.
Julie Angel Porter.
Aryan Deshpande.
Harini Prakash.
Nikhil Devaseti.
Jessica Chien.
Krishnal Dingra.
Janani Raghavan.
Bryce Diedrichson.
Abdur Rahman.
How do you say it? Jackie Ding.
Jewel Rahman.
Aaron Din.
Ariel Reisman.
Aditya Dotapoda.
Vishruth Raj.
Jake Donner.
Manas Rout.
Louis Dreen.
Harshita Reba.
Aditi Dwivedi. Dale Eberhardt.
Santiago Reyes Alion.
Tubili Bakshi Efeso.
Paul Reynal.
Elijah Edwards.
Lauren Rife.
Xenia Ellis.
Dylan Reardon.
Sabrina Eng.
Theodore Robert.
Danielle Eng Duncan.
Amal
Guadalupe
Robles.
Escobedo.
Quinton Road.
Dana Fickey.
Soren Russell.
Sophia Fang.
Wyatt Sabari.
Helena Fang.
Sebastian Sagoon.
Will Fleming.
Christian Salgado Cervantes.
Eden Frey.
Christian Santiago Garcia.
Christian Freiberg.
Nicholas Arroyo.
Carson Fricky.
Anisha Saeed.
Jacob Frumpkin.
Andrea Schiffer.
Noah Gable.
Jenna Schmidt.
Lauren Gaddis.
Lindsay Schneider.
Geshav Gapanthi Brahman.
Harika Seelam. Cynthia Sitharaman.
Anita Gao.
Shakti Sendil.
Sarah Desai.
Hari Satharaman.
Nancy Garcia Rodriguez.
Ahmed Shaban.
Matilda Gauss.
Rohan Simon Shantanu.
Haley Geibel.
Ethan Shen.
Anella Gerard.
Rachel Shen.
Dimitri Garantz.
Claire Shi.
Supratim Gosal.
Eshani Shilamkar.
Megan Glasgow.
Varun Shinthe.
Ari Gold.
Aditya Shrey.
Jessel Gomez Castananza.
Sonia Sin.
Sofia Gonzalez.
Navdeep Singh.
Sayukta Gosavi.
Adi Sinha.
Alexi Gromak.
Ishan Sinha.
Duru Ganyakti.
Catherine Smith.
Anushka Gupta.
Kennedy Smith.
Ishan Gupta.
Evan Song.
Paulina Gutierrez Lopez.
Jeffrey Sung.
Sonam Gatsao Gaurutseng.
Catherine Sue.
Wesley Hackett.
Aparna Srinivasan.
Salma Hujian.
Nithin Shriram.
Xanthi Haley Brown.
Elowen Stoll.
Ian Harper.
Richard Sue.
Unish Harwalker.
Megan Sun. Sai Sanku.
Janine Hasune.
Akash Suresh.
Aaron He.
Ariam Tamina.
Sebastian Heinitz.
Cody Tan.
Cristia Herrera.
Ethan Tang.
Heather Hess.
Catherine Tang.
Samuel Hickman.
Aisha Tarball.
Ryan Horn.
Ella Teets.
Ben Horn.
Miles Thiessen.
Jason Xiao.
Colin Thompson.
Ellie Sue.
Natalie Thornton.
Hannah Huang.
Beza Tebebu.
Gloria Irakoze.
Malika Tiwana.
Gabrielle Jacobson.
Maya Choker.
Daniel Jamal.
Alexandra Ton.
Divea Javas.
Marco Torres.
Evelyn Jiang.
Ton Tran.
Naya Gogaker.
Miles Tucker.
Daniel John.
Denrata
Amit Johnson.
Anna Underberg.
Connor Johnson.
Julie Vanderbroek.
Luke Johnson.
Nate Vasquez.
Lucy Joseph.
Joel Velasquez.
Kea Joy. Guy Kalach.
Ayush Verma.
Rusine Kemkolhar.
Ansh Verma.
Saba Candy.
Anastasia Vertine.
Sahar Candy.
Mahiv Vibu.
Audrey Kao.
Genevieve Bibutu.
Mudit Career.
Olivia Vidal.
Daisy Castler.
Zoya Virani.
Simi Quar.
Brent Walquist.
Hey. Yes, of course. Almina Kazik.
Rachel Wallen.
Cooper Keeley.
Sarah Wan.
Troy Kester.
Grace Wang.
Darius Kalegi.
Mel Wong.
Vikram Kandawal.
Cole Schuyler Webb.
Adita Kowal.
Callum Wilson.
Maya Kinzo.
Kylie Kitamura.
Dana Kim.
Flora Wong.
Junie Kim.
Lauren Wright.
Ethan Kogan.
Mariah Shu.
Ganapka Kothkara.
Michael Shi.
Ari Kathari.
Tanush Yadav.
Nate Krautwald.
Peter Yang.
Brenner Christensen.
Devin Yee.
Ashley Koo.
Serena Yin.
Maria Ladensuo.
Ian Yu.
Catherine Lai.
Kimberly Zapata Oriana.
Allison Lamb.
Yannick Zender.
Gabriel Lind.
Sergio Zepedas Benisar.
Gustavo Lara Garcia.
Emily Zhang.
Anna Liederly.
Kevin Zhang.
Andrew Lee.
Marco Zhang.
Ryan Hunsi Lee.
Nicole Zhang.
Ryan Songi Lee.
Brandon Zhuo.
Eitan Legros. Samantha Lay. Roning Lee. Rachel Liu.
Class officers, your officers, in fact. So that they can, so that where the camera person just left. Wait, we're not done. We're not done. We're not done. Art, we're not done. Class officers, class officers. You can shake them right. Just come up. I don't know what happened to the photographer. Yeah, got it. He's coming. Okay, we'll just wait for a second. It's fine. All's fine. There we go. Okay, here we go. I got you.
Tomer Kalach. Michael Lee. Annie Swoko. Eric Ma. Samuel Molman.
Eng.
All right, send us home, guys. You guys did so good.
Congratulations on everyone. You really worked hard for it. It's now time for the final words of this ceremony to conclude our high school experience. Personally, it's been an honor serving and leading you guys for all these years. So let's take a moment to reflect, to comprehend all that we've gone through and what we've learned. Because I assume we all learned some material in our classes. I would hope so. But let's remember how much we learned about ourselves over these years.
Do you all still recall the first few months of freshman year when we were still strangers amongst ourselves? We were the short kids in the halls, the noisy kids in class, the awkward kids who just stared at each other during our first roll call. Those days are long gone.
In sophomore year, we were just getting off our feet. Then, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of COVID-19, but that catalyst stirred things up a bit. It was a little unexpected, but that didn't matter. Our class marched forward with strength despite the uncertainties virtual learning posed.
And then junior year. Junior year was far from normal. We most definitely took sleeping in class to a whole new level. We faced novel challenges in a learning environment we'd never seen before, but we worked together with strength once again and redefined the definition of school in our own unique way.
Despite our challenges, we definitely took it to a new high in senior year. Through our perseverance and spirit, we set an example for the rest of the school for what returning from a long year of virtual learning should look like. We've made the most of our experience by rebuilding our high school experience, reestablishing our community, and rekindling the unique Interlake spirit, our spirit, while shining through the lows of the year.
Now that we are moving on to the next chapter of our lives, let's be sure to make the most of it. I think we've all heard people say, I just can't wait for high school to be over. But there's always going to be something in the future to work towards, whether it's another assignment, another test, or just another goal. If we don't stop and enjoy what's in front of us, we might look back and regret not living in the moment. Just like Ferris Bueller said, life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you might miss it.
So when you take your next step, if it's college, a gap year, military, trade school, or more, make sure you enjoy the journey and the people along with you, because that is what will bring meaning to your experience. Just like today, it's the people sitting around you, right by your side, that brought meaning to your graduation today, the closing of this chapter of our lives.
That said, graduation not only signifies saying goodbye to your pasts, but also serves as a celebration of our future. Tomorrow is the start of all of our futures, and no matter what path you may be taking, we believe you have all that it takes to succeed. And what's so great, but also so scary about tomorrow, is that we now have the freedom and independence to make our own choices and how our futures unravel.
With new freedoms come new responsibilities. So whether that's figuring out how to do taxes or writing your own grocery list, we're all about to enter yet another learning curve. And if things don't go to plan, remember the days we spent together, where you all learned to persevere, depend on others, and finish strong on everything you set your mind on. I hope you never forget just how good it felt when you knew you had finally done it. We certainly won't, and we eagerly await to see you all change the world.
And now, family and friends, you might want to get your cameras out as we are about to approach a very video-worthy moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have finally reached the moment that everyone basically came here for. In a moment, we're gonna ask you to turn your tassel from the right side to the left to symbolize moving forward from the high school stage of your life to whatever is to come. A declaration of our 12 years of work filled with memories that some of us may cherish forever.
Congratulations, class of 2022. At this time, please turn your tassels from the right side of your cap to the left. We officially declare you as Interlake High School graduates.
Saints out.